What is up, YouTube? It's Dear, and I'm coming back to you with another video. Today I just wanted to give you an update about what I've been doing for the last couple months, because it's been a minute since I made a video, and I actually learned a lot of things that I think it would be pretty cool to share with y'all, especially with everything going on. It's a lot of stress going on. You got shootings and gas prices going up, cost of living just going up basically. So I learned these things to help me see life from a different way and a different perspective, and it allowed me to be stress-free. So it's only right that I help other people, right? So I've been reading a lot of books. I'll put a picture of the book I'm currently reading now, and I learned a lot about stress and how stress can cause different diseases and sickness in the body. And also, you know, your internal world reflects what's going on your outer world. So if you have stressful thoughts, negative thoughts, or just depression going on the inside, it's also going to reflect on your outside, because your thoughts are energy. You know how so your thoughts are energy, right? So just like you can speak something into existence, you can think something into existence. So if you're sitting here worrying, stressing, and overthinking about stuff, you're going to attract more stress and worry, because that's all you have going on the inside. That's all you're thinking about. But once you change your mind, you can change your life that's going on the outside. So as long as you be positive and think positive thoughts, I know it can be hard sometimes, and also you have to be careful what you listen to, what you watch, what you read, and also who you hang around, because those people can play a big factor on how you think and move too, because your mind is a magnet. Every time your mind sees something, it picks it up and it remembers it. You might not remember, but your mind remembers. So you know how sometimes you might get deja vu, or you might get flashbacks because you might have had something might have triggered you, and the same chemical you felt when you felt that experience, it can cause deja vu, so your brain can remember it. So stress, like I learned how stress and depression can cause sickness. So sometimes people can get addicted to the stress enzyme chemical. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to sound smart, but I'm reading it in the book. That's why I'm talking like that. But sometimes people can become addicted to stress without realizing it. So you have to be aware of how you think and how you move. For example, if you go through something and it may seem like it's harming you at the moment, but it can be a blessing in disguise. You just have to be aware of how you think. You know how they say life can be a path. So if you think negative, you're going to take one path. But if you think positive and decide to see from a higher perspective and stay positive and believe, okay, everything's working out for me, you go on another path. So say if you had negative thoughts, so those negative thoughts you're thinking, I'm not this, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, or something negative that you can think about, it's going to attract more. And so, for example, also if you pray to become your higher self, if you pray for strength, courage, bravery, and you pray to face your fears and release your fears, God is going to, in order for you to achieve those things, strength, courage, bravery, fearlessness, you have to go through those things, right? So sometimes when you go through things, it's not a punishment, it's because you pray to become something better. So in order to become something better, you have to experience something to help you learn and grow to the level that you want to become. Because everybody has trauma, right? When we growing up, so we can experience things that changes the way we think, and it can, you know how we have auras. Trauma can cause darkness in your aura. And you know how people are like, I'm a light worker, because once you start releasing light, once you start releasing the darkness, the trauma, the pain, the stressful thoughts, the negativity, you become light, and God is light. So that's where that comes from. So the more you heal and the more you release, you become light. So, and you attract the good things you need. So some people are into manifesting, right? How can you might be wondering, like, why my manifestations aren't coming in? Because you're stressed out. You're stressed worrying about how it's going to get there, instead of worrying about, okay, I know if as long as I stay positive, do what I have to do, and know that I'm doing the best that I can be. And if you're doing the best you can be, which means you don't have to be out there and be the number one player every time. Sometimes the best you can be it can be sitting on the sofa. It can be reading books. It can be doing whatever you're doing that makes you happy and makes you realize, like, hey, this benefits me right now, so I'm going to do it because it's making me happy. As long as it's not harming anybody else, it's cool. So when you sit here and think about something. If you heard about something in the past, instead of accepting the past and accepting for what happened and moving on and learning and being grateful for it, you can become stuck in your past because you keep thinking and stressing about it. So when you do that, you can attract the same situations into your life as well by reliving your past. You can literally relive your past by overthinking about something. So if you say, for instance, I've been through a lot of things. When I first started my YouTube channel back in 2018, you might not be able to tell, but I was going through depression and everything. But whenever I went through something like, say, a breakup, or I allowed something that didn't go my way at the moment, I would beat myself up about it, and it caused more stress, more problems to come into my life, until eventually I just got tired of being stressed out and unhappy, and I was like, something has to change. And I made a video, and I think last April, it's a video called Sharing My Testimony, and I talked about how one night I just prayed and I told God, like, hey, God, I'm ready to change. Show me how I can be better. Lead me to my higher self. I pray for strength, guidance, knowledge, wisdom, courage. I prayed to become fearless. So in order for me to become those things, God had to pull me through those things. Here's a picture. I'm gonna put it somewhere in here, talking about how my plan versus God's plan. And so you see how you have your plan up there. You think it's gonna be straight, easy sailing, but God sees things that we don't see. God knows us more, so He can see us or whatever. And so He's gonna set certain situations up in life so we can go through in order to grow and heal. Because in order to heal your past, you have to relive that same thing. You have to feel the same pain and release the pain. But instead of thinking negative thoughts, or creating negative seeds, you have to go back and tell yourself, like, okay, hey, this happened because it's happening for a reason. This happened because it's benefiting me. I just have to see this from a higher perspective and learn. Everything in life is a learning experience. So once you learn the lesson, it's like you move on to the next part, because that lesson you learn, it's not really a lesson. It's the strength you needed to grow. It's the guidance you needed to grow. It's the fearlessness you need, the courage you need to grow. So once you see this, okay, this is good. I know everything works in my favor, and I know God is on my side. So it may look like I'm losing right now, but when I get this blessing, I'm gonna be winning, okay? Because you're gonna see yourself, over time, you're gonna realize, dang, I'm grateful that me and such broke up. I'm grateful that this happened because. Sorry, my phone cut off, but you're going to be grateful that certain situations happen, because if they wouldn't have happened, you wouldn't have had that experience that would have changed your mind in order for you to grow to who you are now. So I look back for everything I've been through, and I'm grateful for it. I mean, about a year ago, I was like, dang, it seems like everything is happening to me. But now I'm grateful that all those things happen, because I'm becoming who I always wanted to become. I'm learning new things. I'm elevating my thoughts. I'm becoming more positive. I don't allow stress to control. I'm learning how to surrender and let God. And once you let go of stress, it's like you're always happy. Nothing can mess with you unless you allow it to mess with you. The only person that can mess up your life, literally, is you. Nobody else's opinions matters unless you sit there and think about it. The only way literally, you can be your own worst enemy. Your own worst enemy can be your thoughts, your mind. So that's why it's always great and healthy to stay positive and to trust and believe and surrender. And once you do that, you have an aura, right? So if you have stress in your aura, worry, depression, and you're not going to see your manifestations, because your aura is covered with all this stress, all this other stuff, and the universe responds to your thoughts. God responds to your thoughts, your energy. So if you have this stressful energy, you're going to attract a stressful life. If you have depressive energy, a depressive life. But you have to realize that, okay, I'm not my thoughts. I'm not whatever. Nobody knows me like I know me. Nobody can tell me about myself, because nobody knows how I feel. The only person that knows how I feel is me and God. So whatever I do or I move, if it makes me happy, I'm going to do it. Because if it makes me happy, I know it makes God happy. Now, I'm not saying that somebody out here hurting people and that makes them happy. That's not right, because you should not hurt nobody. So don't quote me on that. But as long as you're doing something positive, peaceful, and it makes you happy, that just makes you happy, and nobody can judge you for it because you're on your own journey, and they're on their own journey. So that's why it's always good, like when people start healing and everything, people see them differently because they don't have the same energy on them that attracted the person that's saying that they're moving differently. Because once you start to heal, you start to attract light. That darkness in your aura turns into light, so you become a higher vibrational being. And some friends you attract, you start losing friends for a reason, because you're no longer on that level with them. You no longer have trauma bonding energy that y'all can be around each other. They'll start seeing like, oh, you acting crazy, or you doing this and this and this, or you boring because you read books now. So you just have to realize that everybody's on their own different journey and on different paths, and that's another thing that will help you realize that you always at the right place at the right time, because you're doing best for you. You don't know what somebody else's journey is or what they have planned. The only thing that matters is you. And once you get that down packed and start trying to like compare yourself to where other people at, life will be a lot smoother and a lot stressful too, because you realize, okay, when it's my time, it's gonna be my time, and I want people to be happy for me just like I was happy for them. So you gotta think about it. So if you're sitting here jealous because somebody's having their time, or they're doing something because you're not doing it, how would you feel if that was you doing something and you had somebody, talking bad about you or doing this? Because in reality, it's gonna be your time soon. So you just have to stay positive and be like, okay, I'm happy for such and such, or I'm grateful for such and such, because gratefulness can also attract just as fast. So if you're grateful for something, so just say, I'm grateful for the things I have now. Once you're grateful for the things you have now, you can attract the things that you really want, because God is first. Before God gives you your wants, He's going to give you your needs. So that's why when you go through a journey, you heal your past, you heal your pain and everything. It seems like you're doing all the hard work first, because you have to get the things you need before you get the things you want. So the things you need is knowledge, wisdom, strength, courage, bravery, independence, fearlessness. Because why would God give you something that you want, but you have fear in your aura? You have stress in your aura. So if you're stressing about the little things you have now, and you want bigger things, it's just going to cause bigger stress. So you have to learn how to handle your thoughts and you're positive with the things that's going on now and everything. So yeah, so changing your mindset is the first thing to really creating a better life. Once you change your mindset, get rid of all the stress and the stuff that you can't control, and then worry about the things you can't control. The things you can control are your thoughts and your actions. And once you do that, and if you always be sure that, okay, everything's working in my highest favor, I'm doing this because it's going to benefit me, or I'm moving and always being happy, even when something happens and it might seem like it might pull you down. But you got to realize it might pull you down for that 1 minute, but you got to realize, well, I have a tattoo right here that says, with pain comes strength. So if you experiencing pain, you can change that pain into strength. You can change that pain into creativity. I started writing down my feelings now. So whenever I get upset, I don't say negative things. I go out there and write, and I tell myself like, hey, this is happening for a good reason, and I'm going to become better. I'm going to be, at the end of the day, I'm going to become a better person, and I'm going to learn things from this, and it's going to help elevate me and get me one step closer to my dream, one step closer to what I want. Because you can't have the things you want with the things you can't get the things you want when you're surrounded by things you don't need, because it's carrying and holding up space. So once you release the things that no longer serve you and start preparing for the things and releasing all that stuff, so you can start preparing for the things that do serve you. So yeah, and but that's all I had to say today, and I hopefully this can help somebody, and I know it helps somebody. It was on my heart to say it, so I will help somebody. So, but give me more ideas of the stuff that y'all wanna learn about. I'm starting to get into quantum physics. I'm gonna get into a lot of things. So if y'all wanna know something, I can speak about it, and over time I'll get more comfortable with explaining it, because at the same time I'm just trying to work with the things I have and be grateful for the things I have, because I don't need much to get a message out. If I have an idea, you have an idea for a reason. So it's always good to follow your first thought. So at the end of the day, whoever needs to see it will see it. So yeah, have a great day, y'all. Be safe. I love y'all.